Where do we start? Liam, you've got together with the team from Game of Thrones. Was
Correct.
it easier to understand the pitch or a little bit more difficult? Because Benedict's got a whole host of fantastic sci-fis under his belt. So
Bless you. Thank you.
Look, it's always about the storytelling. And they are master storytellers who are also masters of adaptation. And they don't make it easy for themselves. They, with Game of Thrones, George R. R. Martin wrote something because he used to write for television and film and stuff. And he wrote something that he said that budgets weren't going to be a limit on his imagination. So he wrote the unfilmable. And then the boys said, we'd like to film this. And this has a reputation for being unfilmable as well. So they do like a challenge. And decided to take myself and this young man along with them. So how can you turn that down? You gotta challenge yourself.
But this must have been a walk in the park for you, because you've got The Martian, Prometheus, Moon, one of the best sci-fi based movies ever made, in my opinion. Sunshine in there.
Come on, guys.
Come on.
Stop this. This
People
is
just
not
know to come to you.
They're
for
tattooed
sci-fi.
on my back.
There's nothing
all
left for
this
you to
sci-fi.
do. You might as well go home.
I know, taxi ready for me. No, it's, it's fantastic. Yeah, I've kind of got a nice dowling stick for sci-fi, everything sci-fi, but this is kind of a bit more sort of rooted in science, within the facts. Science faction, as I like to call it. But yeah, I'm thrilled to be part of this. As you said, it's sort of multi-layered. At the heart it's a thriller, but yeah, it's very sort of genre-bending as well.
You lads are probably getting a lot of questions about Little Green Men, what your belief systems are in terms of outer space and such like. But if you did have a kind of an open line to this higher being kind of thing, what would you want to know from them, or what would you want to say? It's quite clear in this: stay away or come here. But
help us.
Yeah, for the love of God, can you help us to get on with each other? Yeah, can you help us to get on with each other? Because we're not being very successful at it at the moment.
Yeah, it's always interesting to ask, we get asked, is there life outside from us? And just whether the question is posed back, where they're looking at the pale blue dot and kind of saying, is there intelligent life form there?
Yeah,
funnily enough,
questionable.
One of my favourite lines from the first episode, I've just seen the two at the moment, was I'll do a more PG version. It's a bad time to be a scientist, which it feels pretty accurate these days. We live in a post-truth era where people can prove and disprove pretty much everything. You believe what you want to believe because there's enough out there to prove and disprove any bloody theory you've got. Is this a good time to be an actor, though, in such a kind of strange grey area of a world where there's a lot more kind of interesting character arcs to explore? Are you guys as terrified and frustrated as the rest of us?
Well, it's the way it is at the minute. The old cliche of truth is stranger than fiction has never been more true than it is now. What's happening in the real world is infinitely more bizarre than anything we can put on the screen, which is kind of ironic.
And finally, what plays a big part in the storyline in this, at least in the episodes I've seen, is kind of gaming, or gaming of sorts. Waiting to see how that unfurls itself, and it makes me wonder. As actors, I guess you pick up a lot of different hobbies over the years, sometimes for work, sometimes otherwise. What's the last thing you became obsessive about? What's the last thing, whether it's a game or something else, you lost yourself to a little bit?
I'm intrinsically linked with FIFA since 1996, ongoing. It's now changed to FC24.
Still call it FIFA, though, don't we?
Yeah, I know. I just constantly keep playing Man United, really.
Not game. My daughter's a video game designer, and my son's a huge gamer. But motorcycles for me, I've just after 45 years or something, having got my car driving license, I've got my motorcycle license. So I'm touring, tent, bags, the whole lot, on the road, Jack.
We should see you do one of those Hugh McGregor trips around the world. That'd be entertaining. That'd be good.
It's been done.
I'll just be in the sidecar.
Yeah, there's no sidecar. I don't do support vehicles.
That's the sequel that people are looking for.
Man had about 200 people with him. No.
We can beam you up at the end.
Two grumpy bikers.
Yeah, two grumpy